Collections are up in Cameron and Hidalgo counties, and in both counties, tax bosses are making it easier and safer for residents thanks to partnerships with the local bank. Channel 5's Rudy Mireles has the details.
In March, Governor Abbott waived certain rules on vehicle registration and other taxes to minimize in-person contact, but property tax payments were still due. Despite the pandemic, Cameron County saw a 0.29% collections increase for the fiscal year, more than $8 million. Tony Izaguirre says more people asked his office for help.
Our collections were up this year higher than last year because of the different type of payment plans.
In Hidalgo County, a similar increase, around $6 million. Paul Villarreal says stimulus checks were a contributing factor.
The first thing that the people want to do is protect their homestead. They don't want to get delinquent. They don't want to get a lawsuit.
COVID-19 caused issues for Cameron County tax offices. To help, they upgraded their drive-through system. But with 56% of Izaguirre's staff contracting coronavirus at different times, it was still tough.
Sometimes we closed one of these smaller offices, and after 14 days, we opened it up. We closed another one. So it was a big problem.
The pandemic ongoing, he's partnered with the county's bank to help his staff and give people a less crowded option.
Taxpayers can go to any Lone Star bank and pay the property taxes inside the lobby if they're open, if their lobby's open, or they can use their drive-through windows.
And it costs nothing for residents.
If it's not going to cost us any money, it's not going to cost the taxpayers any money, let's go for it.
Hidalgo County residents also have the option to make payments at any Lone Star bank in the county until January 31st. Here in Cameron County, Izaguirre is reminding residents that if they make their payment before January, they get a discount, 3% until October 31st, 2% in November, and 1% in December. In Brownsville, Rudy Mireles, Channel 5 News at 6.
Omar, Relámpago, Juárez. First Ukraine, now Taiwan. The COVID report. And two things are certain in life: death and fill in the blank. It is Wednesday, 7:04 a.m. My name is Frank Olivo, and this is Good Morning Brownsville. I do apologize for the technical issues if there was a little delay in the feed. As you can tell, I am away from the studio, so I do apologize regarding that. And I know the reasons why you wake up every morning on Monday, Wednesday, Friday is for the weather, but there's not much to talk about. The only thing that I have for you is that it is going to be very, very, very hot. Now, throughout the pandemic, we were scared each and every day whenever we got the reports of the number of COVID cases and deaths that were reported either in the Rio Grande Valley or throughout the United States. We have seen how President Biden, this is his second time that he has contracted the virus. It is said that he has been isolated for 5 days. And he has been having this recurring issue. He has had mild to light symptoms. He is working from home. But nonetheless, we have heard and seen cases where this virus is coming back. And again, it is hard to follow. First, it was COVID-19. Uh, then it was the SB1, SB2, and now we're getting word that the monkeypox it has come up as of late in cities as close as Corpus. We have seen pictures from Houston where uh, individuals are starting to get a large number of cases of monkeypox, which the World Health Organization has declared a global emergency regarding the monkeypox. But the COVID 19 virus that we have been dealing with, and I know you and I are sick and tired of listening of all the different reports and cases that we have been hearing. And you and I can agree that we kind of have shut down whenever we hear about COVID 19. But it is popping again. Just a few days ago on August the 1st, 800, 830 some cases were reported in Cameron County and two deaths. While the deaths, we haven't seen a large volume of them. When the COVID pandemic was at its peak, we were getting deaths in the teens, unfortunately. And we have heard that the important thing for this, in order to combat this virus, has been vaccinations. Here in Cameron County, we do have a 83% vaccination rate throughout the county. Just yesterday, no deaths, luckily, were reported, but again, 300 and some cases. And if we compare the numbers to Hidalgo County, we can agree that this is something that we are going to be dealing with for the very near future. COVID-19 is our reality. President Biden is battling COVID for the second time in 2 weeks. When you have questioned his ability to be the commander in chief during this troubling times. He is 79 years old. He does have light to mild symptoms, but nonetheless, are we going to be dealing with this issue for the near future? We have heard of individuals who have taken 4 boosters. Should we hear in the very near future of the requirements of having to take another vaccine? We hope not, but only time will tell. We have seen how certain viruses have been mutating. But the COVID report for Cameron County has been over 1,100 cases with 2 deaths in 2 days. Now, compared to the size of Cameron County, it is less than 1% of the population. But you and I can agree that individuals they're not getting tested as much. As you can remember, when COVID-19 was at its peak, we would see the lines wrapped around the Bronzeville Event Center, and it was scary to know of individuals to contract the virus. We, as a society, have kind of already blocked away the COVID-19 pandemic, so to speak. But COVID-19 is here to stay, and we have been getting cases at an alarming rate. Now, a lot of things has been transpiring throughout the world. As we all know, currently the United States is in support of Ukraine as they try to withhold the Russian government in obtaining its territory. Ukraine today, tomorrow it's going to be Taiwan. We did have Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, did travel to Taiwan. And this is very significant because it is the first time in over 25 years that an elected official has visited the island. And again, what is the importance of Taiwan? Taiwan is considered by many to be in the stronghold of China. And what we have seen from Ukraine has been that Russia has done everything possible to consolidate its power and wanting to gain that territory that was once part of the USSR. Again, yesterday, Ukraine. Today, it is going to be China. The world right now is at a standstill because we have the United States, NATO, and its allies on one side, and we have China, Russia on the other. The United States has been fighting to preserve democracy and to prevent the Russia, the old Soviet Union, for gaining strength and territory. Are we going to see the same thing with Taiwan? Russia invaded its former land. China right now is currently at a standstill because that is the same mindset that they have. According to them, Taiwan is under their control. Now, while Taiwan is considered a democratic country, we are starting to anticipate that China will start military operations in that area. Again, it's all about control. It's all about power for these individuals. And the significance of the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, of traveling to Taiwan is very significant because it seems as if the United States is taunting China and saying, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to lash out against the Speaker of the House? And Nancy Pelosi is a very important woman because she is the second person in line to the presidency. If something were to happen to President Biden, Kamala Harris would step up. If something would happen to Kamala Harris, our president, our commander-in-chief, would be Nancy Pelosi. And again, the issues between Ukraine is the same thing what is going on, or it's going to happen with Taiwan. We are getting a little preview of what is going to transpire in that area. Again, you don't mess with China. And once you have your enemy, the U.S., going into Taiwan, recognizing that area, and seeing that the United States will support Taiwan in the backyard of China, it is at a standstill. It is as if they're posturing for a fight. And again, are we antagonizing China? Are we saying, hey, big bully, what are you going to do about this? We are preserving democracy. But really, we're ruffling up the feathers and getting China angry and saying, hey, we are in support of democracy, such as we are trying to preserve Ukraine, and we are in support of Taiwan as well. But again, is this giving China a reason, an even more reason to hate us, an even more reason to be at odds with us? It seems that way, but it is very significant to have our Speaker of the House travel to Taiwan. And what is going to happen? Again, we don't anticipate anything transpiring or escalating as of now. But you and I know, we've been hearing a lot of rumblings. World War III, the invasion of Ukraine was anticipated to be a few weeks, and how this is dragged on into 6 months. We're going into the Russia did invade Ukraine in late February, early March, and many are saying, "Wow, this has affected the world on the big scale." Why? Because it seems as if every country is going through a recession. Gas prices, many individuals throughout the country and throughout the world are also feeling the ramifications of this war. Now, are you ready for World War III? Is the United States already anticipating, or are the intelligence receiving information that China will be invading its little brother of Taiwan? And will the United States be there in support and trying to prevent this from happening? It seems as if the United States always has their hand in just about everything. And instead of focusing on our current issues that we are dealing with, it seems as if the United States is more hell-bound on preserving democracy throughout the world rather than focusing on our issues back home. Omar El Relámpago Juárez. He is the WBO champion in his respective division. And we have seen this young man um, rise up through the ranks. We have seen him live on Fox Sports. He has even provided color commentary throughout the fights, and we have seen um, his gift. Omar Juarez currently does motivational speeches throughout BISD, and we have been in awe with his commitment to his community, and he has been very vocal of being in support of our individuals that are part of Down by the Border. He is also a big part of Big Heroes, an organization that does assist our individuals, our students with certain disabilities. And we have seen how Omar Juarez has been that staple for the city of Brownsville, and he has been our champion. And what can we say about Omar Juarez and RGV Elite? We have been very fond of him, and we've been following the careers of him, his younger brother, his older brother, his sister. The family is talented within itself. But the great thing about Omar Juarez is that he has always talked about Brownsville. We never hear anything bad about this individual. He is a standout class citizen and should be a role model for our youth. And Omar Juarez will be live this Saturday from 11 to 12. They will be broadcasting on the World Boxing Review. And once again, this young man has all the talent in the world. He's had an amazing opportunity, and this could possibly lead to future endeavors. He has provided color commentary for boxing fights on Fox Sports, and this is something that he could possibly do once his career is over. But nonetheless, this Saturday, I invite our community to tune in. Omar Juarez, along with his coach and father, Rudy Juarez, will be part of this great event, and this is brought to you in part by the World Boxing Review. And the great thing about this is that it's going to have different Hall of Famers, boxing Hall of Famers, individuals that were part of training camps that brought champions, and our very own champion will be a part of this. So Omar Juarez and his father will be broadcasting live, a part of the World Boxing Review. His World Boxing Review this Saturday, August the 6th, from 10 to 11 Central Time here in Texas. We will provide the feed once it's available. But once again, what can we say about Omar Juarez, a standout role model who every time he speaks, every time he is at the end of his fights, he always recognizes the city that he is a part of. And after every fight, he does have a pitada, so to speak, giving back to his community, allowing us to be part of that celebration and being part of his victories. So Omar Juarez and his father will be having a broadcast live this Saturday from 10 to 11. We will be providing the feed for our community, for all those to tune in. Now, the two things in life that are certain are death and, you guessed it, taxes. Taxes is something that is inevitable, and it seems as if either the government, whether that individual who just won 1.3 billion dollars, they were even taxed, and many individuals were angry and saying, "Hey, congratulations, IRS, you are the real winners." After taxes and after it was all said and done, the individual who claimed the 1.2 billion dollar ticket took home $400 million. Again, death and taxes are almost certain. We did have a ceremony. The Cameron County Tax Assessor Collection Department, along with Cameron County representatives, did have a unveiling, a ribbon cutting, a ceremony for the tax office that was open in the city of Harlingen. And currently, right now, we do have several tax offices here in the city of Brownsville where one could make a payment. The city of Harlingen is the second city. Just last year, in the summer of 2021, we did have the city of San Benito, who did open after they did purchase their a Capital One bank building that was vacant for close to 10 years. They did make a purchase of $500,000, 500 to purchase, 100 to renovate the property. And many individuals have stated, we need these tax offices within Cameron County, within Harlingen, within the city of San Benito. Why? Because it's going to generate revenue. It's going to be that economic boom that we need. Why? Because individuals will be able to pay their taxes, have easier access, that will bring money back into the area, or so everyone thought. And again, this unveiling did take place this past weekend. But as we all know, our tax assessor collector, Tony Saguirre, he was recognized on behalf of Cameron County Commissioners Court, the association. He was awarded the 2022 National Achievement Award. And this association, they did recognize Cameron County and Tony Saguirre for their financial management category for being 100% tax consolidated countywide. Now, again, it is a good thing for the county to have these drive-throughs, these opportunities for their residents to pay their taxes. But it seems as if that will never go away. But let's remember where we're at right now at the county level. Currently, right now, the county does face a deficit of 5.3, let's say $5 million. We are in the red of $5 million. Now, the property in San Benito, it cost $600,000. This property in Harlingen, we're going to estimate, we don't have the numbers, but we're going to estimate that low ball is probably $300,000 to $400,000 low ball. So you're talking about $1 million, a little bit over $1 million, let's say $1.3 million investment that Cameron County has made on these drive-throughs, on these tax collecting buildings that have been offered for the residents of San Benito and Harlingen to pay their taxes. The interesting thing is that, was this a necessity? Now, again, the government, whether that be at the municipal level, at the federal level, they're always going to screw us. They're always going to get us. Why? Because taxes are inevitable. This is something that even when we're dead, they're still going to tax us. But looking at the big picture, Cameron County is facing a $5.3 million deficit. Looking back, and it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback when it's all said and done, but looking back, was this the right move? Are we spreading ourselves too wide within the county? Now, you and I can agree that these type of entities, they want to make these payments easily and accessible to every and all individuals. But the interesting thing goes to show, have we been mismanaging different projects? Is it in the best interest to open up shop with the idea that, well, it's going to pay for itself because we're giving the community more access to make their payments on time without penalty. That way we can recoup money and have the funds available in the Cameron County coffers. But again, I repeat, the county is at a loss of $5.3 million. Should the county be expanding right now? Now, I'm not saying that this is the reason why we are in the red, but when you look back, this is what contributed to it. this easily, along with the San Benito and Harlingen tax drive-throughs, did contribute to close to $1 million. And it is very interesting. It is very interesting to note that these are going to be continue to pop up. Why? Because it's all about the money. The taxing entity is here to stay. And even though Cameron County is facing a deficit, it seems as if their priorities are to collect money as much as possible. Now, you and I can agree, in order for a government entity to work, we have to have cash flow coming in. We have our budget, we have our expenses. We also need to recoup that money on a quarterly basis to be able to have a flow of our budget. You and I can agree that that is a right thing. But are we moving too fast? Are we opening up too fast? Are we getting bigger than what we need, in the sense of we already have one in San Benito? Couldn't the residents of Harlingen drive to San Benito? Again, we want to make this easy and accessible to every and all. Another contributing factor that we have been talking about has been the county raises, how the commissioners court, they themselves gave hundreds of thousands of dollars in raises to themselves, which that alone has contributed to the Cameron County deficit of over $5 million. Two things are certain in life: death and taxes. And Cameron County has solidified that, but not by not only creating one, but two tax collecting buildings within 7 minutes of each other. Again, is there a need for us to keep on building these tax collecting agencies, buildings of a part of Cameron County? Again, we have two collecting offices in Brownsville, and also the Lone Star National Bank, where people are able to make their payments for their taxes. Again, are we growing too fast? Should we focus on what we have perfected? Make sure that our collection rate is high enough to where we can have the funds and the resources to be able to expand and have more buildings. It seems as if the Cameron County is hell-bound on spending money, whether that's on themselves, of giving themselves a raise, or building tax collecting buildings, with the understanding that they will themselves pay for the building once it's all said and done. But again, mismanagement. That's what we have seen at the county level. That have given themselves raises. Now, while these two buildings in San Benito and Harlingen, they didn't contribute to the majority of the deficit, but I would guesstimate, and we have yet to receive the numbers for the Harlingen building. But we do anticipate that the Harlingen building and the San Benito tax collecting buildings, they have put Cameron County in the hole of over $1.3 million. Again, are we mismanaging our money? Are we biting too much for us to chew? Our Cameron County officials have deliberately been spending your tax dollars, and that is not in the best interest of Cameron County as a whole. And that, my friends, is the rest of the story. Omar Juárez, he will be having a podcast. He will come out live on a podcast on a feed this Saturday. We will provide the link once it is available. A great individual, a standout role model for the city of Brownsville, who is a motivational speaker. He is a representative of Down by the Border. He has Down by the Border on his pants, on his trousers, on his jacket when he's walking into the ring, and also Big Heroes, two great nonprofit organizations that give back to our community, that are there for our youth and those in need. And Omar Juárez is also a part of that. First Ukraine, now Taiwan. Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, who is the second in line after Kamala Harris to the presidency. She did travel to Taiwan, who right now is at a standstill with China. China being its big brother, being its neighbor. We have been hearing intelligence sources that have claimed that China is watching the invasion of Ukraine, and they're saying that once it is all said and done, China will begin military operations on Taiwan. We are seeing how the United States has been doing everything possible to prevent Russia from taking the Ukraine territory. Now we are going to see the United States meddling in the Taiwan-China standoff. Again, it is all to preserve democracy. But are we going into another world war by having Nancy Pelosi step foot, recognize, and speak with their elected officials to state that, hey, we are here for you, we're here to help you. Is this going to be the beginning of World War III? The COVID report, if it's not the monkeypox, if it's not the SB1, SB2, it is COVID-19. For these past 2 days, Cameron County has reported over 1,100 cases with 2 deaths. Now, while that is a small percentage of the population of Cameron County as a whole, we have to remember that people aren't testing as much. There isn't large groups of individuals that are racing to get tested. As we could all remember, those long lines that we had to endure to get tested. We saw cars wrapped around the event center here for the city of Brownsville, and everybody was scared and said, "Oh my God, I don't feel well. We have to go get tested." But individuals are not testing as much, and we possibly are carrying the virus without even knowing it. Is this our new reality? We have school opening up in a few weeks. Is the COVID cases going to jump exponentially? Is this our new reality? It seems that way. But Cameron County did report over 1,100 positive COVID cases with 2 deaths. And again, mind you, we are not reporting cases and we are not testing as much as we once did before. And 2 things are certain in life: death and taxes. The Cameron County tax assessor collector, Tony Saguirre, they did have an unveiling of their branch satellite office in the city of Harlingen. Just last year, in July 2021, they spent $600,000 in a building, in a bank in San Benito. Now, the close proximity of those 2 cities have led us to question: is Cameron County allowing this tax assessor entity to grow at a rapid pace? Have we been mismanaging our budget? Currently, right now, the Cameron County Commissioners Court, they did announce that Cameron County is in the hole, facing a deficit of $5.3 million. Now, while we do not know the numbers of the satellite office in Harlingen, we do anticipate that when it's all said and done, the property in San Benito and Harlingen will account for close to $1.2 million. Now, is this a necessity? Again, taxes is something that we will be dealing with until the very end. We have seen how our elected officials are pumping out tax assessor collectors, buildings, entities, to be able to give the residents of Cameron County that opportunity to make their payments on time and as easily accessible to each and all. But again, is this a mismanagement? Are we growing too fast? Should we focus on other aspects? Again, we have Cameron County employees that have come and asked for a raise, and unfortunately, they haven't been able to. Why? Because there is no money in the coffers. And that, my friends, once again, is the rest of the story. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. I have been away from the studio a couple of days. I will be traveling to Houston, so I will be broadcasting live on Friday. Make sure you tune in at 7 a.m. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. As my grandpa always said, the circus does not stop for a monkey. So yes, my friends, I am a monkey. And wherever I am, wherever I go, I'll try and go live as much as possible. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Hope you have a great hump day. Hope to see you here on Wednesday live from H-Town. God bless.